Hey guys, what's up? Alec back with the daily stock market and NIO. That's all I can say right now. That's the whole video is going to be about. I know a lot of you guys have made money with NIO stock. So here's the video for you guys. I know a lot of you guys were buying at $2 a share, $5 a share, $10 a share, even $20 a share. So before we get into the video, make sure you are subscribed. It's the only place that you're gonna find my videos is on YouTube, my full videos. And comment below on where you actually got in and started to buy NIO at. Was it $2? Was it $5? I wanna see some comments and see where you guys were actually buying. So today we're gonna talk about my opinion on NIO, if I'm buying NIO, if I'm gonna be holding NIO, if I'm selling some of my position. And we're gonna take a look at some of the numbers too, which might shock you, like the deliveries that they have been. And we're also gonna be talking about the sedan, if they should have priced it a little bit more competitive to go ahead and compete with the Tesla Model 3. Then we're gonna talk about William Li, the CEO, and how he can be a huge contributor to NIO's growth, just like how Elon was to Tesla. So if that sounds like something you might be interested in, make sure you do stay up throughout the whole entire video because you're definitely going to learn some new stuff. But we have a lot to unpack and a lot to talk about, so let's get right into the video.
All right, so the first thing that we have to talk about is going to be NIO's market cap. NIO's market cap is up to $100 billion. Wow, that's huge. And whenever a company passes $100 billion, if we go back like 10 years ago, there was only a few companies even worth $100 billion. So NIO is automatically one of the biggest car manufacturers in the entire world now at $100 billion. Also, they have a negative 44 EPS and one of the widest 52-week ranges that you'll ever see in recent years. Their 52-week gap is astronomical. It's almost, what is that, like 30 times more of the price it was at the 52-week low than the 52-week high. And it actually ends up being a lot more money in the long term if you end up putting the battery as a service too. Especially if you end up having that car for years and years, 5, 7, 8 years down the road, the battery as a service can definitely add up. In my opinion, they should have been competing with the Model 3, not the Model S from Tesla. So if they put out like a $30,000 or $35,000 or even like a $39,000 car, that would have been really important, in my opinion, for NIO to do. Now, the big thing is it won't be ready. The sedan from NIO won't be ready for 12 months. And by that time, the thing is that the EV market's going to be very advanced and developing every single day. So when this car hits the road, Tesla could be way ahead of everything that was said during NIO Day because it's 12 months from now, keep in mind. And also keep in mind the 600-mile battery from NIO won't be ready till the end of 2022. So Tesla, that's like 2 years. Tesla will probably be a lower price by then. So basically 2 years from now, they're saying that they're going to have the 600-mile battery, and there's no proof yet that they're just saying they're going to have a 600-mile battery. But we need to see this thing lab tested and get some actual proof too, is a big thing on the 600 miles. They're saying it's going to take 2 years, and Tesla could easily have an 800 or even 1,000-mile battery in 2 years, and Tesla can even lower its prices too. So I know Tesla wants to put out an even cheaper car than the Model 3. 2 years is definitely a long time, and that's the biggest downside I've seen with NIO Day, one of the biggest. Now, the Model S and the Model X, as you guys know, they sell peanuts compared to the Model 3. It was only when they put the Model 3 out that their sales absolutely skyrocketed. The Model S and the Model X don't really sell anywhere close to the Model 3 does. And the good thing is with NIO, they still have a $50,000 option with the SUVs. So that's option's always still there. As investors, though, we want competition against big companies because it pushes them to be better and better. So you saw William Li taking shots at Tesla, saying that their core, the NIO core, is 7 times better than Tesla, and that the auto driving is better than Tesla. It's more advanced. It has 11 cameras, and we see a real rivalry going on in the future. And we already all know about NIO Day and what happened. They released the sedan. The big issue I see is it's competing with the Model S, not the Model 3, which I really wanted it and was hoping it was going to compete with the Model 3 because the price is $78,000, which most people honestly can't afford a car that much, that expensive. $58,000 if you want to spend the battery as a service So if you want just the car and you don't really care about the battery for now, it's $58,000, which is still expensive and ends up being more money. And we can definitely see a real rivalry here in the future, which never actually happened before. Tesla wasn't really competing with anyone. And we know Elon's known for his witty comeback, so I'm sure he's going to give it right back to him one of these days. He actually already put out that he's going to be doing AI Day, Tesla AI Day in the future too. So that's probably they're going to be their comeback against NIO. Now, something else to note with NIO, instead of buying the full self-driving service from Tesla for like $7,000 around is what it is, NIO is actually going to have it as a service where you can actually pay monthly, which would be great for their reoccurring revenue, but will cost the customer more in the long term, actually, just like the battery too. And like I was saying before, is we really need to see the numbers and the proof, because of right now, 600-mile range on a battery is just what they're telling us. So there's no results and there's no real numbers. And if the real numbers actually come back to like 500 miles of range instead of 600 miles, that can really hurt the stock price, in my opinion, because right now the market is pricing in that NIO is going to have a 600-mile battery, which would absolutely be huge. And that would actually be more than Tesla. But keep in mind, it's going to take 12 to 24 months to even get this into production. And my bet is that 2 years it takes for NIO to put out the 600-mile battery, Tesla's going to be up to an 800-mile battery by then. If NIO was smart, in my opinion, they would put out a cheaper competitor to the Model 3, which I'm sure they will do sooner or later, or they won't be able to compete with Tesla, because NIO wants to focus on quality, not quantity, where it's vice versa for Tesla. They focus on quantity, and doing big numbers, especially with that Model 3. For example, even if NIO put out a competitor to the Model 3, like a four-door sedan with like 250 miles range for like $40,000 and sold it without the battery for possibly $29,000, that could be a game changer for NIO, because so many more people can afford a car in that price range. You know, even people watching the video, not many people own an $80,000 car, $70,000 car. Most people own like a $30,000 car, maybe a $40,000 or $50,000 car. So to step up into a $70,000, $80,000 car, a lot of people are automatically cut out of the pie. So in my opinion, by NIO putting out a sedan at a price of $69,000, which almost nobody can afford, and heck, even if somebody can afford a $1,500 a month car payment, even if they can afford it, most of the people that can afford it don't want to afford it, because they're much more smart with their money and rather buy a car that's $30,000 or $40,000 rather than a car that's $70,000 or $80,000 too. So that's a huge thing and not to be overlooked, in my opinion. Now, NIO said they are integrating LiDAR connection, and it looks really sleek. It's not bulky at all. Tesla says they don't like LiDAR and they will not be using LiDAR. And in my opinion, the subscription base is really what has NIO going at this point for them. And in China, not a lot of people have garages or charging stations. So battery stops could be the dominating factor in China until there becomes batteries with like 1,000 miles in one charge or 1,500 miles in one charge or more. They're definitely fighting for a higher end customer, because battery swaps are going to end up costing a lot more down the road. If you own a NIO for 5, 7, or 10 years, it's going to be a lot more expensive to own a NIO rather than just buying a Tesla. Because, for example, wouldn't you rather just buy a Model 3, especially if you're going to have range up to 600 miles of range in the Model 3? You wouldn't need battery swaps once we get to these higher range levels of 600 miles per charge, 800 miles per charge. I mean, most people drive, 800 miles in a month, maybe? So you charge once a month, and then you're good to go. So if we get up to Model 3s that are 800 miles of charge, then you would only have to charge once a month, and it would be a lot more efficient and a lot more cheaper rather than doing battery swap. So that's what I think Tesla's looking at, and why they're not going to go with the battery swapping model, because they're so focused on making that battery so big that you won't need a battery swap. Now remember, there is 20 million cars sold per year in China, and pretty much moving forward they have to be electric vehicles. So Chinese electric vehicle market is so huge for the long-term opportunity. And remember, China doesn't want Tesla, an American company, to take over the China EV market. So that's why the government is backing NIO and will continue to back NIO too. So the two most important things in my opinion is when can you buy it, which is 12 months from now, and 24 months if you want the 600-mile battery, which is not a good thing, and who's going to buy it, which is only maybe 5 to 10% of the electric vehicle market can afford a $70,000 car. So when you really boil it down to those two questions, when can you buy it, which is 12 to 24 months, it's not looking too good, and who's going to buy it, a very, very small percentage of the electric vehicle market, is not that good either, in my opinion. So remember, NIO focuses on quality and luxury, and they're going after that client that focuses on quality and luxury. Keep in mind, we also don't know what happened with Jack Ma. So Chinese companies are a little bit sketch right now, to say the least, in my opinion. I mean, they say Jack Ma is okay and they say that he's fine, but in reality, we haven't really seen him in person or heard from Jack Ma yet. Chinese stocks are already more of a risk than US companies, so make sure you do know this and you do realize. And not just with Jack Ma going missing, also with the delisting of many big and notable Chinese stocks also. Also, on the bright side, their vehicle sales are massively improving. Their vehicle margins are massively improving. And they're a cash-loaded company now on their balance sheet, which a year ago they were not. They were very, very risky a year ago, to say the least. If you are interested in investing into NIO stock, or you have already, do some research on the CEO, William Li, and see if he's someone you want to invest with, because I think just like Tesla with the Elon Musk, I think the CEO with NIO, he can be a huge factor of NIO's growth. Also, a good tip in the stock market in general is just always be most critical and more critical on the stocks that you believe in the most or that you want to put the most money in also. And if I was holding this stock for a long time already and I already made some great money on it, I would not be selling at this point. Just hold it for the long term, because in my opinion, that's where I see majority of the growth in this company is for the long term, especially if they confirm on that 600-mile battery. That can be an absolute huge catalyst. And I think the stock can go to $100 a share or even more if this is true too. I don't think they will confirm this for a long time though. And unfortunately, it won't be in the market for about 2 years. Now, in my opinion, if you want to hold this one for a long time, I would recommend, if you're going to be buying the stock, to hold for 3 to 5 years, because I can easily see this stock growing 200% in the next 3 to 5 years. So it's definitely one to have on your watch list, definitely one to be buying. If you can pick it up around $50, awesome, do it, hold it for long term. If you can pick it up at $40 a share, even better. This is one that I'm just going to buy and buy and buy the more it goes down. So for example, I don't have a huge position built out right now, but if it goes to $50 a share, I'll start building a little bit bigger of a position. If it goes to $45 a share, then I'll be putting more money into the stock. If it goes to $40 a share, then I'll be even putting more and more in. And the lower it goes, the more money I'll be putting in. And that's how I'm going to be treating this stock. And I'm going to be holding for 3 to 5 years.
Alright guys, so I hope you really did enjoy that video. You walked away with a different perspective on NIO, whether you're bullish or bearish on it. Hopefully you learned something new about NIO. Comment below if you did find this video useful. Share with a friend that is investing in NIO so they can actually have some heads up about the sedan, about the CEO, and my opinions on NIO stock. And we're going to be doing a giveaway too, so if you did get this far in the video, make sure you do drop a comment on the video on your thoughts about NIO, when you bought in at NIO, and send me a screenshot on Instagram so I know that you guys did win, and I'll give you $5 to the first 5 people. So we have another $25 giveaway for you guys. We have an exciting week of trading ahead of us, so if you are new to the market, go ahead and reach out to me on the DMs and I will help. And also check out my client success page on my highlights on my Instagram. So that way you can actually see what kind of success people have already had if you need a little bit extra help. And it's okay to ask for some extra help sometimes. How people become successful is getting a mentor and seeing what works and what works well, using strategies from that person too. And we have been filling up. I'm only taking a few more spots, so if you guys are interested, make sure you DM me, because I started signups back this weekend and we're already almost filled, and it's only been open for 3 days. So the demand is very real, guys. If you don't know how to diversify your portfolio or what position sizes to take out, how to read income sheets, balance sheets, what a PE ratio is, earning statements, any of that stuff, if it sounds confusing for you, I can break it down very simple. This program is made for beginners and it will not confuse you. So we're straight to the point on this channel, as you guys know, so you don't have to be worried about all that analytical, different kind of language that you guys don't understand. And that's why people really enjoy the program too, is because it's very comprehensive for one, and second off, it's very, very easy to understand too. So guys, I hope this video helped you and you found value in it. In my opinion, on NIO, NIO Day, William Lee, and everything to do with NIO on this video. I'll see you guys in the next video. Drop a thumbs up, share with a friend, and until next time, remember, don't time the market, buy the market. Peace.